It a G 1 year. We can't see regular still the one. Monday I wear the one where. Want to open single. That what I don't know good. Maybe a fast go langa. Maybe made a ransom tolo. I see my dear man. Jobala wanda yama wasise. Katu apie kaya ndalinda. Sore sore di daluka na wan. Aplaka nuandi asompie ke. Menga papa logule. Kapo papa logule. Wana gwe to ako wa mesaku ne ko ako wa beneka ko ba ona lawe para fa ko na wo dani we do la gela kali le we ka pra ka kwai do aya linga le ka banga ka ki do aya bu le we ka ka pra ka play do aya linga amo kene do la genga pe ya ya to bana kaya nyale si wanya to ga wa to se non trouble to ga wa so ne marry money that for so ne marry money that for sagere ke ka wa no sagere ke ka wa no sengo duwa para loge male posia go gara yoga go go Jomana kaya nyali Jinde akpa toka ngwa We waloke iwa nyali na Kabo go wacha Do aloko na wa nyali na Bora mampelo lesa we ponga o Yeke masila lesa wa leti bako Go make a papa log to her. Cabon para go para go to Wako Messago. Go a beneca. Go about my lave. Got a fucker gone no. Braga great Ayalinga. Why? Say plan para penaya. Paka prevese so no ya la baba. Palo tapre, lega bruse kumaya. Kote umera Lege se tapa kamela ya Mana se toto gangwa Mana se toto gangwa Pati esoe Soya polo te aisa Malibe, Dagbe. Kora man bailo le sera we punkane. Masilo le sera leti bagwe. Je me okangwe. Kabedo mera. Gona sala kata be kaya gbe. Go wacho. Mega papa log with Ka koron pola ko pa log with Koron ko pa log with to wa ko pa mesaku Ko wa mesaku ne ko wa beneka Dampa Camela, so I put a day. I do we as a wear you. Papa, no mega. People wet web. Me puede valer con la que acabó. Dia Gazena Muenya. Now, Jimmy, and you, Baba, we go. I've been here out there everywhere. Baba can look up a woy. But I will have to make when you go out there. Dia Gazena Muenya. Nagaze pent you are gone to Alamoya. More bizarre, I want to have you. So, color the go, the Joe, so, Nicola the go, the Joe. Oh, Baba, I've been here to go with the weather. I've been here to go with you. Oh, the young dog. You are not what I'm found. Baba, we're going to walk with Chance. You are not walking with Chance.
4 weeks a month, 12 months a year, 365 1/4 day to look for votes and to introduce himself. But the old man has been on the block for 44 years now. He needs no introduction. Whether he was a nailer, a pack race cow, a slow pole, the people know him. Y'all keep running behind Kumis. Y'all will know the difference between the hare and the turtle. Saying you ain't read that book. They race the hare and the turtle. Y'all know the difference. I see an old man using a hay. Why some of y'all who say y'all know plenty in the CDC that your foot then you're using. Y'all will soon see blister on your own foot. They play the battle and you're not carrying it there. They play when nothing happening. They play you're moving resources and assembling artillery that is pouring you're running behind. I don't see JMB. I don't see JMB. I see an old man. Meaning, I see somebody using hay work. And you're running around on your foot.
If a man has flavor when he's alive, though small in size, but has impacted the lives of people living across the Cess River, also known as Non or Nipo River, is a Liberian river that rises in the Nima range of Guinea and flows south along the Cote d'Ivoire border, then southwest through tracts of Liberian rainforest to empty into a bay on the Atlantic Ocean, where the city is located. As of the 2008 national census, the population stood at 2,578. True to his words, when he visited the people of Cess during the 2017 general and presidential elections, the former vice president and standard bearer of the Unity Party promised to deliver a brand new ferry to the people of Cess. Many over the past years died while crossing the river through canoes and other medium that was detrimental to their lives. But what has changed since the ferry was donated by Ambassador Joseph Human Boyka? Here are voices of commuters along the Cess River.
We are using a ferry canoe, and one time Mr. Joseph Human Boyka came to visit River Cess, and when he saw the river, he promised us, the River Cess people, he said, I will donate a ferry for you people. So we, all the time, we look there, and it takes a politician to make a vow and let us lose and to just be by your word. So we applaud him, and he tried his best and donated the book to us, and it brought release on us because of the book. NGO, anytime NGO come, they will say the place now is settled by road, will not be part of it, but now we are feeling the heat of NGO all through in Jani. We cross with pairing Kingdom, and there's a frequent, drowned here. People, there's an accident, accident. So, but since the Kingdom came, it's very hard. It's abolished.
I'm Reverend David K. Johnson, head of Jasper. Okay. Before bringing that boat, first I want to tell you that the Penkino, a chapter, first a chapter, non-person reader. Then another one again, a chapter. Then another Kino go to rescue them, a chapter too. More than 20 people got drowned. Before, we got one brother here called Jim Johnson, my brother. He goes to say, when you're not bring boat, we're not for this year. Because we the young people suffering. See the way we die in crossing. And how come they call the vice president, Boyka, attention. And Boyka said, but I will buy a boat for you. And he won by that boat. So how come the boat here? So we been dying on that river before the boat came.
Okay, we had 3 persons that's the rider, and we pay them by percentage. The amount they put in, if you put in 13,000 for that month, we found 25% of 13,000, then we share with the 3 riders.
I live in the ferry called Nimba. We do come on kind of school in the city. Spend kind of school and go back to school. It will be difficult for us so much. Joseph Boyka gave the boat to the people of River Cess. On a camping tour, and people of River Cess going to the river sacks and showing the river. Say, oh, but we are going so many difficult to cross the river. I can family the people of River Cess. Oh, but if I get back to my river, I will send a team to come to serve the water, and I will donate the ferry to the people of River Cess. And I gave the boat to the people of River Cess. We usually go for the past 2 years. We are generating a little thing, to help in the process, because to maintain the boat is not an easy something, because the packs is very hard to get, and whosoever, there's no store, specific store to go to about the park. So we could do it free of charge, but because of it's to maintain it, we charge a little amount of $50 per person to cross the B River. People, we are very happy about the donation, but we the blind, there's a little, of the rider, because that's gasoline. So when they can't, they want to add it was Kino. So when they can't immediately, they just want to get it, and later they got a late, quarrying and this about. Everybody appreciates the ferry. Uriah is my name. I live Jaisa. I'm one of the most in Jaisa. Money in the process in Jali. The cross with the pack and the smoking. Before the pork, we need to suffer. I'm smoking, We don't need to suffer before the boat, because that's a difficult work in the sun to go to the river, because when you smoke, because like Casa will be there in the water. So we're too bad. What's question one?
to just get all the hair straight, when the campaign was going on during his time, you know, when you're running, at King Center, they said, you know, in my town, we have a center there. And I promised the citizen, I stood among them. I said, in my center, if the citizen will beat the Unity Party there, it means you're bringing center at the time, color my head. If the center alone, town that they just said, Jimmy Baga was the president, we beat CDC 2 times in that time, in the center. So people, you know, say, when they meet me, especially at Daniel, they just say, Daniel Bwakat. When they brought a photo of that particular ferry, people throw it on the ground. I took it and carried it to my house. And every day, they just say, oh, Daniel Bwakat, what a ferry. Anytime somebody come, what a ferry. Oh, you voted Bwakat because you want ferry. I say, yes, the ferry for the whole citizen. And I enjoy the service and need that on the ferry. They can't say for Jani. But they say for the people of River Cess, for all River Cess. So we are very happy. I'm happy, and I don't know what to say. So, you know, we don't want to say something yet, but we are praying to God. Let them put their horse in order. As we speak now, we have a project across. So I think you saw it there. Yeah, that's the ferry committee putting that project. And then we have money now saving in account. Where it's more than 300,000 plus.
I will say a big thank to him because he did well for us. Now, since he brought our boat, nobody died yet. Our life saved. So we say big thank to him.
We tell him thank you. We applaud him. We know that he will do more for us, and we will do more for him.
This report was compiled by the creative.
The OGTV name, sir.
Yeah, money is for exporting and the telephone organized.
Yeah, what branding issue do you have in mind?
The thing very too much. You know, say the city government. We want the Bible to be a central one. With the Bible and all the summer in Bonnet. They feel somebody admin, oh, one the president can you know what you are supposed to. I don't know how we are supposed to. And the president will be very for all. Yeah? Who said that I tell you the president will be very but we are following from the subboard. And the Bible know that we see someone that wants to be sent up at twice because that family came up with running a subboard. What they respected, people cross us, you son, no matter you son, what they want to do. But the Bible, my brother, we are convenient in the area as subboard. Because the latter, the Bible here, when the Bible there, for the thought I was there, who never allowed to talk the Bible there, yeah, what they respected that day. But other people with the Bible,
I was told that you've been in a very good relationship with the vice president. How can that relationship is standing better?
It's better now, because they pay the Bible want to be there now. They tell the Bible when I send it, hey man, who are great. But since the Bible become a vice president now, no way. If I ever see it, the subway we are better now. No one goes somewhere else. Oh, why the president can you where I go to? How where I go to? The subway where I go to the president and the guy out to see her. So either the guy for the Bible to see the subway there. You know that if ever part of the subway, yeah, we feel it bad. The subway is in the view. They are feeling bad. In our the subway like Bagaya, the whole country, the whole country, the subway, we are feeling bad. Everybody, that the Bible coming home.
But why you are limiting your frustration to honor to the vice president?
Well, hello,
yeah.
Why you never see Barrett? I know you from the Bible. The Bible is where we're going to the subway fight. Oh, my children, you know that the former Bible, you go to my head and to let the subway.
Oh, meaning before this time, the former vice president was very closer to you people.
Yes, very closer to us.
So this current vice president, she have taken her back to you people.
Totally.
And you boys were used to run campaign for her.
Totally. Yeah, as senator. Yeah, we want to Oma campaign twice. But Oma forgot about the subway in that we are better now by the vice president.
So what's the measure you have for the vice president this morning?
The thing that the men have about is Oma and hearing off because I think the president interview government swear off. Like the subway for the can see what with you. Because we want to campaign anybody stop people. When you is there, the half of the subway they hate on you. So they are on you.
So we are getting closer to another campaign. If she come back for reconciliation, will you be willing to accept her and to work along with her?
Sure.
What if I have that? Now we're talking about yeah, when I see what you yeah, when I see what you want to let it happen there. What if I have that? I'll go all my men, I'll get that one, we'll
So tell me, you how many in number here?
One of them is only some I know what it is. All the chairman for them. I know how many someone did English talk and it. Someone did it for the rest ever.
Wow. But somebody's making a recommendation instead of being with the vice president, the current vice president, the former vice president that you were very friendly with, why can't you go to her? Go to him.
No, that's my vice president. No, what if I went for vice president? No, it's not how we are here. I know the somebody in the Canada, in the corner, a fellow apple. But we say you're coming from another time for the subway in Bonkane, that you are that. There's software, we are getting there. They're going to there. We're still about with the Papa. We're still forever the Papa never do nothing for the subway. When the Papa never go there, you got to be on now. It wrong. Why do you not have to do so? My chairman, you know, you're wrong now. Yeah, even the EPM that the other Papa there, you say, okay, you'll be happy. But now, somebody on the other Papa, you'll have it. Because they didn't have you know, the subway in Bonkane. If ever just careful.
All right. Yeah, you make sir.
And if for everybody are there, I'm the chairman of the subway in Bonkane.
All right, thank you.
Some of the young people in Unity Party, when they hear my name in the VP conversation, they get angry. No, we will not accept it because of peer envy. Peer envy. Shall I say? Peer envy. Can you come close to what I've done for Unity Party? The things I've done for Unity Party and Joe Parker, can you come close to it? The service I provided this man, the loyalty I've demonstrated to him over the years, can you come close to it? I'm tired. I have to respond to this, Parker. I told him yesterday. I wrote him a message. I told him. I said, your people, they're hurting me too much. I told him. I said, your people are hurting me too much. All I've ever done is to support you. I have sacrificed. My own family people, they are telling me, say, why are you supporting the Joe Walker man? My family people are angry with me. They want me to withdraw from Joseph Walker. Why are you supporting this man? The man people all day, they undermining you. You think my people who are my family, they don't care about me? The things I've done for UP, the things I've done for Joe Walker. Some time ago, I told you that certain great things were in the pipeline. I told you that God was working wonders. I don't know whether you all remember. God was working wonders. I did say it. I said it. I said the Lord was working wonders, and the Lord has spoken. But sometimes when those wonders begin to manifest, people get scared. Yeah. People get scared. Your enemies become busy and they get scared. And I remember one time I was talking. CDC afraid of me more than anybody else. CDC afraid of me more than the other people there. Somebody post said, who won't be VP? They've been allies with CDC. We don't even trust them. Eh? The Jeremiah Kuhn man that leaking information or paying people to talk nonsense about me. Eh? He was there. Y'all want us to attack? Seriously? Y'all want that?
No, cause let's be so. Let's
attack.
No,
let's harvesting human parts, human organs to ship abroad to sell. You want us to talk?
Cause
you're harvesting human organs. You sure?
Let's just remain on this one.
When you thought and they say, don't even try it.
0770-102-102-86.
Nonsense. Y'all try me. I will destroy y'all. You think I'm supposed to be anything? I did not put myself forward. I don't have to be. I don't need to be. If this is what God wants, it will happen. I didn't put myself forward. But don't even try me because I can destroy you.
And I have to ask has to do with the issue of you using your platform to degrade Liberian women. And I will give some instances. One, in 2016, when the Minister of Labor was persecuting some Lebanese nationals for human trafficking of Liberian girls to Lebanon, you used your show to bring another young woman on your show who you claim knew the victims and castigate those victims as prostitutes on your show, and that they were lying on the Lebanese national while the case was in court. The Minister of Labor at the time was need to lie, and I was at the Ministry of Labor, and we followed that. 2, when Canadian missionary was accused of raping and impregnating a young girl who lived with him, you brought that Canadian missionary on your show to talk about how he was the second coming of Jesus Christ and the people were lying on his name. 3, when the More Than Me saga happened, where the American Katie Myers Institute that she was running in West Point had an issue of sexual abuse, and some of those girls were abused and told, and some of them even contracted HIV and AIDS by Katie's boyfriend at the time, when she did not properly report that matter until later on, and that became a huge issue where the women of Liberia stood up and protested against it. You brought Katie Myers on your show and told her that she was doing a great job and that the Liberian women were jealous of her. Not only that, you've consistently degraded, denigrated, discussed, insult, and disrespect Liberian women on your show, to include, but not limited to, former Representative Josephine Francis, Otokane, Just Mappin Morgan, Vivian McGill, Safari, Madam Medina Wisa. The list is long of women you have done that to. The question is, women make up over 50% of our voting population and our population. You're contesting for the biggest county in Liberia, Maserado. And let's not forget Augustina Gray, who your friend Mo Ali had impregnated and tried to get to have an abortion, and you went on your show and called her a Hopo Joe. You now want the support of Liberian women as senator of Maserado County. What message do you have to give to Liberian women tonight in support of your bid, given your past history with denigrating, discussing, disrespecting, and demonizing them?
Thank you, Mariah. Thank you very much.
Mariah Kula, you say some of the worst things about me. I don't have any respect for you. I don't dignify you. Hold on, Santa, for you now. Let me speak.
Answer the question.
Santa, I will not do that yet. Santa,
Mariah will not do this, Mariah. You have asked a fair question. I will not do that. You're given a chance to answer further.
But it should not be personal. You will not respond to me personally.
I have the right to respond.
Mariah, do not interrupt him. Again, you have your time.
If it goes personal.
No, you will not interrupt, Mariah. You must give him a chance. Mariah, you must give him a chance to speak, please. Do not interrupt him. Costa, please.
All the women in the basket that I place Mariah Yakula, I do not respect. They insult me, but they expect me to not respond. Then they throw their hands up and say, I'm a woman. You don't know I am a woman? If you are a woman, you will respect yourself and respect how you talk to a man. If you disrespect me and you insult me and you expect me not to respond, I will respond to you. And Mariah, listen to me. I'm not counting on your vote. I'm not counting on it.
You will not get it. You didn't know that.
Stanton, if this continues, I will have to leave this show.
Mariah, I had to mute you because we didn't say we should do this show by talking over each other. Please. Again, you will have your time. Costa must speak. He's the guest. Please.
Mariah, I don't respect you. If you insult me, I will respond, which you often do. I will not care that you are a woman, because a decent woman does not insult a gentleman. She does not. A woman who throws insults at a gentleman and expects to be treated nicely like a queen is delusional. So if you want respect, you must earn that respect. All the other women you name, or you disrespect the other woman, you think you can turn the Liberian women against me? Right on this live feed. Let me talk to the Liberian women. All of you who know that I respect you, say it to her so she knows that. The women who disrespect me and they want to run and hide behind a womanhood, I will respond to you. You mentioned Eva Mapper Morgan. Mariah, you are I don't understand. Eva Mappin Morgan is one of the worst things that happened to the Liberian judiciary. She is a crook. The Supreme Court set up a joint inquiry committee that investigated her. And no, they condemned her. The report is there. Stanton?
Yes, but please go ahead.
Will you take charge?
Costa, you need to speak. Mariah, please. Again, we just had a long, sorry you wasn't in our conversation this afternoon, because I think it was going to be important. We cannot interrupt. We cannot speak when they get speaking. Please consider it. When Costa is done, you will have your time to speak. Costa, please proceed.
Thank you. I hosted Chucky Taylor because Chucky Taylor wanted to be heard. I have no regrets. You guys run it. You host this platform that you don't agree with, that have done terrible things. You know, Voltaire said, I will defend your right to speak, even if I don't agree with what you say. I believe in that. So hosting Chucky Taylor is something you want to tie around my neck. If Chucky Taylor wants to speak, if Charles Taylor wants to speak today from The Hague or from London, wherever he is in prison, I will host Charles Taylor. Terrible people appear on platforms all over the world. So I make no apologies.
Harry Costa, we're going to be bringing in Sir Joseph because you'll be running against Sir Joseph. He's a sitting senator right now, and you want to unseat him. Before we...
But there's a straw that breaks the camel's back. You use weird to disgrace me, but you will pay for it. Okay, listen, this is a text from the vice president of Liberia, former vice president. You use weird to disgrace me, but you will pay for it. I was shocked.
Well, let me see that.
I said, Uncle Joe, is this text really intended for me? What did I do? They say you set me up. So because the president had gone up to have a press conference and explain everything he has done for this vice president, and the vice president supporting the protest, he's not blaming me for it. So you go up, small one, go up.
No, but wait, let read it for what he said. So Edwin, you always say I don't trust you. Now you have drawn the straw that broke the camel's back. You use weird to disgrace us, but you will pay for this. Wow.
Now, the first thing I did now,
what did I do? He said you set me up.
So go up.
Edwin, can I move on, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just let me know which one is the second one. Is this it?
Go. We can't do that one yet. Come back down. Go back. No, instead I'm saying more than that.
Yeah, we're bringing it up. I just told you to tell me.
Okay, good. Right there. So
okay.
I asked him.
No, that's one you're responding to.
Yeah, but go back.
But go ahead. Read what we have. Read what you have.
Which one?
No, but you can read them all. I understand what you're responding to.
That's how the message came, all right?
Okay.
House in his yard during the interview means I supported his comments towards you.
Exactly. That's the second one.
Extremely sad and most unfortunately, may God judge all of our actions, compliments of the season, Uncle Joe. So that Uncle Joe talking God might judge all of you.
No, that me. I come in.
No, that Edwin slow.
Oh, that you talking.
How did I set you up? Uncle Joe, the president spoke of the vehicles he gave you. He spoke about your medical bills he underwrote. He spoke of other things he had done for you and, of course, his assistance towards grandma's funeral. Other than grandma's funeral was our part of any of the other interventions he made.
Wow.
You done?
Yeah.
Wow. Everything the president did for this man. Wow.
Go ahead, read this one now.
Hi, Edwin. I did not know Mr. Weir's contribution to my mother-in-law's funeral was to have become a social media issue. And you know the road was never done. Okay, then he said, good afternoon, Uncle Joe. I was with the president doing the interview, and I was really troubled that a good relationship you both shared was challenged. I can only hope and pray we don't allow it to get any worse. Compliments of the season. Okay. Hi, okay, this one. Okay. Hi, Eddie. I hear you are in town.
No, you gotta go back up. Read the first one.
No.
That's no.
Yeah.
So I come back to him now. The president had a press conference. The president explained what he wanted to explain. And now the old man is holding me responsible for it and telling me I will pay for it. So I said, look, the good relationship you both would have, you know, if you both share, I'm disappointed or I'm troubled that it's being challenged. He comes back and say, I set him up, which I did not do. And that's why I'm seeing this publicly. So even Mr. Weir or his supporters will know that I never one day went to Mr. Weir's house to discuss the vice president. Never did I ever do that. He's blaming me for this. Then he comes back. After a while, when Mr. Costa and others now say they will raise the money, they will do this, they will do that, then he sent me a message now. They say, oh, there's a message on the screen now. I should go and collect the 2005 to go and give it back to Weir. I think I said, I'm not a conveyor. I don't even know you get that money back to Costa then, though. But
Eddie, I hear you're in town. You know, I was not an appeal from me for Costa and others to raise money to restitute the 2,500 contributed towards my mother-in-law's funeral. For me, it was an act to honor my dignity. I'm told they contacted you and you said you can only receive. Oh man. But my question to you is, Senator Snow, why you think the vice president would just come out and just say you setting up? Why you think he just accused you?
Well, you gotta finish reading it. Read the last one on 2 minutes, George. That's the last one. Read it.
Yeah. Your reaction towards me in this situation has been most unfortunate, but in time I will be vindicated. I respectfully decline to come and receive the 2,500 from you to take back to President Weir. Please employ another means to resolve this matter if you so desire.
All right, Snow. That's it.
Let me give you the chance to know. I want you to speak. This is very serious, and we're bringing Amos to speak on this.
You know, that was one of the most troubling moments for me. The vice president, when I decided to support him at the time, there were people I was very close to in a United Party that went the other way. George Weir and I, President.
Edwin Snow, the issue is about when the former vice president lost his mother-in-law, peace to her ashes. George Weir, through Edwin Snow, sent a $2,500 contribution to the former vice president. The former vice president never requested any money. It was unsolicited. Edwin Snow took the $2,500 to the former vice president. As a matter of courtesy for the president, the former vice president accepted the $2,500. I arrived in Liberia on that historic day on December 19th, and Edwin Snow was correct when he said that Costa was doing a protest. When I arrived on December 19th and we shut down the whole city, the next day on December 20th, George Weir took to ELBC to do an interview in which George Weir was angry. Edwin Snow again was correct when he said George Weir was angry with the former vice president because the former vice president did indeed support our democratic right to protest. That's when George Weir went on a tirade and began to explain how when the mother-in-law died, I saved money, I did I want. So when he said that on ELBC, the country was outraged that the sitting president of the country would be talking like a small child. Oh, I fed him, or I gave money when your mother-in-law died. So the former vice president got enraged, and he responded because we asked him to respond to that. In my reaction, I raised $2,500 on the show, and I called the former vice president and said, "This money that George Weir sent to you through Edwin Snow, which you did not request for, we, your supporters, want you to return this money to George Weir through the bearer of the money." The former vice president called Mr. Edwin Snow. Snow told the former vice president that he was in Abuja or someplace on an ECOWAS assignment, and when he returns to the country, he would go and see the former vice president, Joe Boakai. He did not do it. The former president called Mr. Snow several times. Mr. Snow did not respond. Then I reached out to Mr. Snow. I said, "Mr. Snow, you brought this money. We want you to please receive this money and return this money." He laughed. He said, "My man, I didn't take money. I didn't bring money to you.
you and I saying got no money to. I said, no, but the former vice president asking you to take the money back. You don't want to take the money back. And we are his supporters. We raised this money to give it back because we are traditional people. When you do something for somebody, you don't go to the public, especially when the person did not ask you for it, you don't go and talk about it. Edwin Snow told me he himself was embarrassed by what the president did. He told me that. He said he was embarrassed. That is the reason why he was not responding to former Vice President Boakai's phone calls. So then I said, you know what? I asked my people to take the money to the former Vice President because I was back in the States. Edwin Snow did not go to receive the money. To date, the money is still waiting. If Edwin Snow goes for that money today, we'll give it to him to carry it back to George Weah. Snow has not gone for that money. The message that the former Vice President sent him, Snow sent me that message. The former Vice President sent me that message also. The former Vice President told him that you embarrassed me. You brought this disgrace to me. I never asked you for money. That was the context. He never explained the context. The man never threatened his life. Joe Boakai used to like Edwin Snow. He used to call him my nephew. Edwin Snow is trying to find a frivolous excuse as to why he left the Joe Boakai camp. Edwin Snow never stays in a camp that is not in power. He always finds a camp that is in power to be in power or close to power. That's not why he left. Let's not be fair. Snow left because Joe Boakai did not win the election, period. When Joe Boakai wins in 2023, Snow will try to find a way to come back, but people like us will ensure that he does not come back around. So the issue of the matter is, Stanton, I know about this whole situation, about those text messages, because Snow knows he and I talk about those things, and we have the $2,500, and Snow should take that money and carry it back to George Weah. Joe Boakai did not threaten Edwin Snow's life. Joe Boakai was very, very, very pissed off that Edwin Snow brought the money. And when Weah went on radio and tried to embarrass the former vice president, he wanted the money returned, and Edwin Snow refused to receive the money and take it back. You brought me money that I did not ask for. I'm asking you to return the money. My supporters are asking you to return the money. You refuse to come for the money. So, Stanton, I want you to ask Edwin Snow, why didn't he go to receive the $2,500 from Ambassador Boakai and return it to George Weah? I want you to ask him that question.
Okay. Costa, we want to say thank you. Edwin Snow heard your question. You can just pause a little bit. We have to go to Edwin Snow. You have confirmed the text messages was actually from Jose Yima Boakai to Edwin Snow. Let me ask you, why did you include Madam Salif's name in a Facebook message to Edwin Snow? Costa is off.
Yeah.
All right. Edwin Snow.
Going back on because that's a breaker line. So put Costa back on. Let me say why he called it, why he referred to Madam Salif now as God. Put him back on. Let him finish. Then when you finish, Clinton, I demand that you play the recording I just forwarded to you. Don't tell me to send no James. I don't have James' contact. I got your contact. You play.
Yeah, but you gotta listen now. No, listen. When he's on my phone, I cannot forward it to James. Okay. So I'm
okay. I don't have James' contact.
I'm using one number here. Just hold on. Costa is calling back. Hold on. Pedro, you guys gonna take us to 1 a.m. in the morning, but it's good. Talk to us. The question was, why did you include Madam Salif in a post concerning Senator Snow?
Because I heard Senator Snow say, and he kept trying to make it a point, that the fact that Ellen did not support Joe Boakai means that there's something wrong with Joe Boakai. Whereas Edwin Snow knows exactly why Ellen did not support Joe Boakai, knows the truth, but he's playing the fool. And he's not a fool. Now, I'm not a fan of Edwin Snow, but this much I will tell you. Edwin Snow knows the politics of the day. And he knows very, very well. For him to sit there and make it look like, and the reason Ellen did not support Joe is because it has something to do with Joe. Ellen did not support Joe because Ellen knows that she and Joe did not steal the Liberian people's money together, and that she felt that Joe would not protect her. She went all over the place telling everybody Joe was not giving her assurances that he would protect her, and Joe kept telling her, but Ellen, what did you do that you need protection? And why did she support George Weah? George Weah went all over the country telling people that I will protect the president. or the former president. Now, Edwin Snow is trying to make people think that his support and Ellen's support, without their support, oh, Joe Burger cannot be president. That was what I was telling. Go tell you and your God, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, that unless Ellen is God, which she is not, we will win the presidency in 2023. And you, Edwin Snow, my dear good friend, you will be right there. You will be well and alive, and nobody will do you any harm. You know Joseph Burger could not do you any harm. You know Joseph Burger cannot kill a fly, and for you to try to make it look like your life is at risk. Man, Edwin, come on, man. Stop playing that game. Joseph Burger will never harm you. Never. So don't
Edwin Snow, Costa is listening to you. Edwin, Costa is listening to you.
My response to Costa is for you to play what I say this, Stanton. Play what I say. That's my only response I have.
So Joe Walker did not condemn tribalism because Joe Walker is a sadistic, unrepentant, unapologetic, tribalistic old man. That is what Joe Walker is, and that is the only thing Joe Walker knows how to do because he exploits tribalism. So, well, I say, I guess.
Don't say you what 2017 first round election rhetoric.
Exactly.
Does Edwin Snow want me to send you recordings of listen to me, Stanton? Edwin Mervyn Snow, who said some of the nastiest things about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf that he worships today. I exposed Edwin Snow in 2012. He, Alex Tyler, James Barney, and Emmanuel Nukwe, when they brought the chairman of Gazprom, the Russia state-owned gas company, and he, Edwin Snow, was representing the company. I exposed him, and he came up publicly and confessed to the nation that Ellen didn't want him to own his own private jet, that he brought his investor, and Ellen left him in a Palawan hut. Ellen was something that they own the country, and blah, blah, blah. The same Edwin Snow that called Ellen, that called Rob Sirleaf an enemy of the country. The same Edwin Snow that said Ellen was a demon. It's the same Edwin Snow sitting on your platform today saying all those nice things about her, and he wants to play my voice from a campaign time against Joe Walker, and Edwin Snow, who is a political chameleon that jumps from place to place, and Edwin Snow, who married to Charles Taylor's daughter and turned around and accused Charles Taylor's ex-wife of planning to kill him, and Edwin Snow, who was against George. We are through all and said we are not fit to be president in 2017, but today is we are best buddy. And Edwin Snow, oh come on, Stanton, man, you don't know Edwin Snow. Welcome to Liberian politics, my brother Stanton. And Edwin Snow, who went on OKFM and cried, crocodile tears, that he regrets the role he played in bringing one of the worst concessions to Liberia APM terminals. And Edwin Snow, who said when he went to the port of Tema, he cried because he saw what APM terminal does there versus what APM terminal does in Liberia. The same Edwin Snow who distributed the 300 iPads to lawmakers and the bribes to dole out the APM terminals deal. Are you kidding me? Edwin Snow, you and I don't stand on the same pedestal.
Who presided over the Senate when the APM terminal deal was passed?
In your life, you stole it from government. You and I don't stand on the same pedestal. Everybody knows you, and that's why your words carry no weight. You left from District 6 and went to an impoverished Bombay County to become representative there. A political chameleon like you, a sleazy fella. All you do,
who presided over the Senate when the APM terminal deal was passed?
Costa, Edwin Snow is asking you a question. Honorable Snow, go ahead.
Who presided over the Senate, the APNG dogma? Who presided over the Senate when it was passed? Who signed it?
Baka never have voting right. The Constitution is very clear.
You were dividing the money, divided money.
Yeah, you can understand that. And you even admitted publicly on that.
You know, Stanton.
Participated in it.
All right, so I believe anybody have questions for Costa before I beg you, Honorable Snow. Anybody have a question for Costa because he will believe it. Thank you very much, Pedro. And you got a question? Go ahead, Mara. Ask Costa your question.
Honorable Snow Edwin played a video, and I mean there are several of those videos, and Costa attributes it to politics and political times, and It was in the middle of campaign. And at the time, he wasn't supporting Ambassador Boycott. Now he is. And he calls Senator Snow political chameleon, and they're now on the same pedestal. And he said some very nasty things about Ambassador Boycott. And I think there's another video where he calls him wicked and corrupt. What makes you different from Honorable Snow, who you claim said worse things about Madam Sharif and now supports Madam Sharif, when you also said nasty things about Ambassador Boycott and you now support him? What makes you any different?
Mariah Kula, you were an unapologetic, avowed campaigner for Joe Boycott. You supported him, you believed in him. The only reason why you no longer support him is because you are a paid staffer of Ellis Cummings. I assure you, if Cummings wasn't paying you thousands of dollars a month, you would still be supporting Joe Boycott, because you tell people in private that you still believe in Joe Boycott better than Cummings.
That's a blatant lie. And you trying to cause
Mariah, he's not on the screen, he's on the phone.
No, but
please wait.
I'm laying the basis. Let me answer my question. Do not interrupt me. Hold on. Let's have some decorum here. Hold on. Listen.
How dare you? Before one person named that I said
Mariah, you gotta win now. Mariah, you gotta win. Mariah, you gotta speak. We will come back to you. We will come back to you. Go ahead, Pedro.
Let me tell you something, Stanton. The Joseph Boycott I thought I knew is not the Joseph Boycott I came to know. The Joseph Human Boycott, a man who worked for 25 years in public service with untainted record. The Joseph Boycott I thought I knew, the things we heard during the political season that were said. Those things do not represent Joseph Boycott. That is why, Stanton, I went to the nation apologetically in the second round. And I told them, I have come to know Joseph Boycott. He's a decent man, and I would be confident having him serve as my president. And even after George Weah reached out to me and called me, I decided to go with Joseph Human Boycott, because what Joe Boycott would have brought to the country and would bring to the country when he becomes president would be much, much significantly better than anything Ellen or George Weah could have done. So let me say this to you. I was under the impression that those things that people wanted to, those things that they were manufactured by him, I came to find out that that is not who Joe Boycott is. The Joe Boycott that I support, that I've come to know, that I have tremendous admiration, respect, and love for, is a decent, humble public servant, not the likes of Edwin Snow, who built mansions everywhere, having looted the country from a driver for Sierra Island to a multi-millionaire today, but a decent, humble man who served his country and receives nothing but the pittance for a pension benefit, $820 and 35,000 Liberian dollars. That is a decent human being that I've come to know, that I respect, that I support, that I can never betray, not for $1 million. That is a Joe Boycott that I've come to know today, and I'm proud of. Thank you very much. Good evening to all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
He will say bye, but he will listen. So I have one thing to say. First,
And then Koji was giving what he needed to carry out the operation and ensure that Mr. Innis was silenced for good. Before that happened, Mr. Minister went to the president, like I said before, but the president made an interesting remark that told indirectly or directly, Mr. Minister, you have to take care of this thing permanently. He said, I don't want to hear about this money anymore, this map-up exercise. You have to find a permanent solution to it. I don't want to hear it anymore. And when the minister left, Mr. President, he went straight to Jefferson Koji, and they hatched the plan. The police director had his 15,000. So as soon as Mr. Innes got at the minister's residence, he sat down and the minister said, I'm going upstairs. I will see you later. I'm coming back. As soon as the minister left, the assailants got involved. They were waiting to carry on the hit. And they beat on Mr. Matthew Innes, broke some of his bones, crushed his fingers, beat him mercilessly. They beat him. And when he was weak and overpowered, they injected him with some substance to disable him so that he wouldn't be effective. That's the kind of man he is. He was in a position of, in law, we say suspended sanity, suspended animation, where you are not active at all. Then they took him to the death scene. They had, if you listen to the police report at the time, they said he was coming from work 1 o'clock in the morning when he went to work on Saturday. They took him to the death scene and staged an accident. Mr. Vali Tele drove a blue pickup, and that is the pickup. We hope the pictures can be put up. We are looking for the owner of that pickup. From our information, Mr. Tele drove that pickup, but he doesn't own the pickup. We want to know who owned that pickup. And if we don't succeed in getting somebody to come up and own on to it, we will do more and further investigation. So, Mr. Vali Tele and one Mustafa drove the car of Mr. Innes to the scene, and Vali drove the pickup. He was accompanied in the pickup by Mr. Jefferson Koji, and they went to the scene and decided to stage an accident. How was the accident staged? Please, Mr. Keller, not Mr. Keller, please, Mr. Innes at his car, and then the truck would come and hit. Mr. Innes was drowsy. He had lost his composure. He has lost his strength. He was beating. So they could not even get him to stand for even 1 minute. So the pickup was driving at him. By the time the pickup got nearest, it was just a few meters away from his car, he was already dropping. And so the pickup hit the head. That's where he got the blunt injuries to his head. But he was as good as dead by the time he was taken to that scene. And afterwards, and the police director was there. He drove right behind Jefferson Koji and others, having received his $15,000. After the operation, around 1 in the morning, that's how they took upon themselves to take the young man's body to the funeral home. Normally, if somebody is involved in an accident or there is trauma or collision, as they said, he was found on the street, you want to notify family members immediately. But they took upon themselves to take the body to the funeral home. The police director, Jefferson Kuji, Valley Tenant, and Valley Tenant's companion, Mustafa. So the Mustafa Fawaz. Mustafa Fawaz, by the way, is dead now. But there was another occupant, Sulu Ban, another operative. They all took a body to the funeral home. There is a trend of accident, hit and run, that is running through the modus operandi of this government. When we talk about the other auditor, you understand, you see the same pattern. He was taken to the hospital. They alone, no family members, taken to the hospital. And sometimes these people are still alive, they kill them when they get to the hospital. But that's another story of another auditor that will come alive. And that's how it went with Mr. Matthew Innes. He was killed very terribly. His entire body was beaten up with sticks, with clubs, with everything they could lay their hands on. And then he was put before his car, and Valley Teller was told to come and hit him. These perpetrators are all in our midst. We know them. That's the situation.
Wow. Wow. Audience and panelists, you've heard Councillor Verdier tell us about Matthew Innes. Thank you for your narrative, Councillor Verdier. Before I go to you, panelists, for you to ask Councillor Verdier your questions, I want to welcome Honorable Kolubai to the show. He was Councillor Verdier was speaking when he entered the show. James, I want you to please put the sheet up before I go to the questioning portion of the program. I would like for you to please put the sheet up, the charge sheet of those that the government is now charging, although Councillor Verdier just told us there is another person who is responsible, who masterminded the death of Gloria Scott's daughter and the attack of Gloria Scott's family. So please put that charge sheet out, because we're going to have the son of one of the person who has been charged come on to speak to us about his father. I want to read. The Liberians, you need to know. I want to read to you. Thank you. Pardon. We can hear you, but you're very low.
Can you increase your volume?
Yeah. I didn't hear Mr. Fagon's question.
Okay,
comments.
Can you hear me now?
I'm not staying. I can only hear Dr. Richardson, but I can't hear you, Mr. Fagon.
All right, Dr. Richardson, go ahead. In-person charge.
Okay, is that Tamba Francis? Okay.
Yes, that's his dad, and all
is attributing the murder to another person. I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Mr. Fadiga. What is your two questions? What two questions do you have for Mr. James? You want to tell me something?
I'm welcoming.
Yeah, can I just be the one to introduce Sheikh Sako?
Yeah. Please do that. Yes, please do that. I'm sorry, Fadil. Just give me 1 second before we go to your two questions. Sheikh Saka is here. Please go ahead and introduce.
Sheikh Sako. Yeah, you have to help you. Just ask me.
Sheikh Sako. Okay.
Sheikh Ibrahim Sako is the friend of.
Thank you very much.
President.
Am I on or am I muted?
You are on.
You're on.
All right, thank you very much. It's a pleasure being on your platform. Having appeared on the Costa Show and the Class Reader the other day, where we spoke about Mr. Weah's ingratitude and his indebtedness to some Russians. We decided to take a break of social media so we can be able to channel our grievances to the requisite authority for them to look into it. And then we also decided to stay away where we put in some safety measures. As you all know, in these kind of situations, safety is not an achievement but a priority. And safety is not how you do it or what you do, it's how you do what you do. But I mean, driving on the highway, and then I just started receiving phone calls that, oh, your picture was posted on the Spoon Talk regarding some revelations about the death of Mr. Innis, and also an individual called Tele who was sitting on your vehicle. So I thought it wise to at least take that break off for now, where I can appear on your platform to explain my side of the story. So I made it pleasure being here. I say thank you again for welcoming me on your platform.
Okay, and in case you are just joining us, the pickup you see...
You are muted. I don't know, but I can't hear you.
I'm not muted, though, unless there's a technical
problem. I can hear you. I can hear you, Mr. Fagon.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
The pickup you see, I recall 2017 was the lead pickup or the pilot pickup for President Weah's Concord. And I believe that that pickup was donated or borrowed to the CDC by Sheikh Ibrahim Sakor. Based on that, yes, based on that, I invited Mr. Sakor to tell us whether he knows Mr. Tele, whether the pickup in the background is his pickup, to what extent he knows Mr. Teller, and how did the pickup get involved, and how did Teller wind up being deputy to Jefferson Koji. Sheikh, you care to tell us what you know so far?
Thank you. Pardon.
Hello?
We can hear you, but you're very low.
Can you increase your volume?
Yeah. I didn't hear Mr. Fagon's question.
Okay,
comments.
Can you hear me now?
I'm not staying. I can only hear Dr. Richardson, but I can't hear you, Mr. Fagon.
All right, Dr. Richardson, go ahead.
I can hear good day.
Mr. Fagon was asking you to please tell us your knowledge about the pickup. What do you know about this pickup truck?
All right, thank you very much. I mean, like we explained the other time on the other platforms about our involvement with Mr. Weah during the 2017 elections. Apart from money given to Mr. Weah, this was one of our pickups. In fact, the pickups were bought by the Russians representative on the ground, who was Mr. McLean, to be used for the mining operations. We bought that pickup at $59,000 because they were customized where they had to put the front bumpers and the winch on them. And then immediately we got the pickup, Mr. Weah also requested that you give him the pickup so it can be used as the lead pickup for his campaign. I then turned that pickup over to Mr. Siwa Briggs, who was using that pickup along with their advanced team. After the election, they had the pickup damaged. I went to Mr. Weah, I told Mr. Weah that, Mr. Weah, this pickup will have to be fixed because it is not mine, it is for the partners. Mr. Weah, remember, he gave me $3,000 at his Baptist seminary to fix the pickup. In as much as the pickup had cost something around $6,000. I fixed the pickup, and I started using the pickup. And then I remember when I left for the United States, I had packed this pickup. But before I left for the United States, I was handling national security issues in that country, working with the National Security Agency. So it was my responsibility also to make sure that I look at national security threats and find an amicable way to see how best we could resolve it. And one of the issues we came across was when Mr. Weah incorporated all of the former fighters of the MPFL and the model, wherein he brought in the Ofori DR, he brought in General Power and the rest of the other people. There was some little dissatisfactions among members of the union factions. The fact that they are from the Madingo background. I met one of them at the official groundbreaking ceremony of the NSA building, who was Abib Jomande. Jomande called me on the side. He said, "Oh, Sheikh, I mean, it's fine that I met you. I've been trying to talk to you or talk to anyone that be able to talk to the government. These guys have forgotten about us completely. They're only concentrating on the rest of the other guys, and Madame Seli did not do that. Madame Seli did a lot of things to maintain the peace in this country. We do agree that we don't have the establishment of the war in the crime code, but Madame Seli did something at least to provide a disposable income for us at the end of the month. And that was based upon that we were living, feeding ourselves, and taking care of our family. But now we see Mr. Weah is really concentrating on people from the MPFL and Model. So I said, okay, not a problem. I said I will speak with Mr. Koji, because Koji so far is the only person that is closer to me in this entire government. All the rest of the other guys don't want to affiliate with me on grounds that, oh, Mr. Weah and I having an issue. So I met Mr. Koji. I said, Mr. Koji, this should be a national security concern. We got the former fighters. They don't have anything to feed their families, like how Madam Seli took care of them. She did not give them jobs in terms of the security sector. Only a few of them were professional. I said, but leave the guys moving all around in the street without providing something for them. Anybody can probably use them to achieve some, dangerous motives. So Koji said, well, that's a problem. But then you call upon these guys. So I told Mr. Jomande, I said, Jomande, who are your former fighters? Call, let's have a meeting, and we'll see how best you guys challenge your grievances. Yeah.
Yeah, the radio, they are saying, Sheikh, you coming on by, you going through the radio very bad. So will you log out and log back in? You are not very clear on the radio.
His
Yeah,
hearing.
the guys in studios just
All
informed
right,
me.
let me.
Yeah, just log out and log back in. Okay.
Okay.
So Dr. Richardson,
yes, please come
what
in.
Sheikh is saying is true. That paper was being used by the Sabato, the Logan Davis, and no other guys they're talking about in the advanced team. That pickup.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. And Ophoria. They also had a Nissan Jeep, wet Nissan Jeep. And that Jeep always used to escort Mange, or Minister of State wet Jeep. They used to have Ophoria and all those ex-general in it. Like they Luton Lacoy said, General Power. All of them used to be in that Jeep escorting Mange. And few of them stay with Mange.
All right, Sheikh. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So right away, Habib Jomande had his friends come at Cody's office, and these were their proposals. So I asked them a question. I said, "Gentlemen, welcome. I met the Valley talent who I met way back in Lofa Kande, who has saved me." So I said, "My honorable Valley, I've been looking for you, man. Where you been?" He said, "My man, he doesn't want to speak good English." He said, "It's a brother now that I live in. I can be one month." This was exactly what he said. I'm happy to see you, and I'm always grateful that the fact that you saved my life in Lofa Kande. So we talked about it. We had a meeting with Koji. They had a meeting with Koji. These were their proposals. They said, Koji, we have a land somewhere in the Todi area. We just want to do a proposal so the government can help us cultivate the land. We want to go into farming. Some of our people here who are educated, like Habib Jomande, if you can find a job in government where they can be at least earning something, they do it. We had an agreement. Koji gave them the money to get an office. They named the organization the UBA, the United Barons Association. But their plan was they should make sure that Koji gave them at least a time with the government or the agriculture ministry so that they can be able to cultivate their land and get into agriculture. So right away I told Vali, I said, Vali, but what you do for a living? He said, oh, right now I'm not doing anything. I said, but won't you mind to go at one of my mining sites in Todi area where you definitely going to be working there on the machines with my little brothers and be earning something? He said, well, that would be fine. He said, I would love doing that. Right away, I called my little brother Ibrahim Sako. I said, listen, I'm going to send somebody to help you guys mine in Todi. At that time, we were doing the dredge mining on the Simple River. Vali went there, he joined them. They were working, having everything going fine. So my little brother started having problem with Vali. He called me and said, Vali is too authoritative. I said, okay, what you do? Give Vali one of the machines. Let he alone. I said, because this young man saved my life in Lofa County during the Unimo War. So I believe that I should just be able to give him a compensation by giving him a job, to understand where he can be able to find something for his family. The Peking gave Valley the machine. Valley was operating the machine. Right away, in time, the government came up with some restrictions on the mining on the St. Paul River. And then, unfortunately for me, the Ministry of Mines channeled their issues in through the Dawn Security to form a team to get everybody off the St. Paul River. And when it came at the NSA, the late JB called me. He said, Sheikh, you are already into this field of mining. And we got an operation to clear everybody off the mines. So I said, okay. I said, that's not a problem. I said, then let the police guys who will be joining off for the operation, they come over. Some officers came, we started the operation. But before the operation, I called my little brother. I said, Ibrahim, this is a situation. I can't be executing the law and be breaking the law. This is what it is. You guys will have to leave from that place. Ibrahim said, not a problem. I'm going to pack some of the machines and I will rather than go to Sierra Leone to work. I said, no problem. Ibrahim packed the two machines, my little brother. He left. Valley was stay there. He called me one other time and said, Valley, you have to leave from over there. If anybody arrests you, do not call me. Or if myself see you there, I will arrest you. We laugh over it. Valley said, okay, he took the machine from there. He said he was going to do some money. But before that time, Nanui Valley used to talk to Koji. He didn't tell me, I didn't know anything about it. Exactly, that's right. The picture you're seeing over there is at the St. Paul River. That was when Valley was working on one of my machines. And he was managing that machine as a person. Nobody was not auditing him, not at all. That was the help I could give him as a person. So later on, Valley said he's taking the machine to do sand mining in Nimba County because the people who were building the road, the Chinese people, they needed sand. I said, Valley, not a problem. I sent Valley money. Valley took the machine to do the sand mining. Valley mined the sand. Later on, Valley stopped talking to me. So I got angry. I said, but Valley, you can't carry the machine. You say you're doing sand mining. You can't send me money. I don't hear anything from you. He said, oh, the tiny people ain't buying the sand. But I decided to go into diamond mining. I said, well, that was not a problem. If you want to go into diamond mining, I don't have a problem with it. Let me know. Let's go to the rifle channel so you can mine. I sent money to Valley. Valley started mining at the Jackland village, somebody in Makani. Valley and I, we have some very good relationship in terms of the work and things until I left. I came to the United States. When I came to the United States, I called Valley certain time. I said, Valley, I said, how's the work going on? He said the work is going on fine. Valley kept sending me pictures of the mines. He sent me diamond pictures. He said, boss man, we want close to the water. Yeah, that's exactly how he speaks. He said, boss man, we want close to the water. I want lucky the whole water so we can get more gravel. I said, okay, if that's the case, Valley, I don't want you guys using the shaker. Then I will then buy at least this man-made washing plant in Sierra Leone, which is set at $50,000 to $18,000. I will buy two. Because when you guys have the mines and you tie the water, I will send an excavator. I will excavate the gravel so that we can then have a washing plant. Valley and I went through all of those processes and things. At a certain time, that's why what shocked me is that Valley I come to town. And then Koji asked me to use my pickup. He said, Comrade, where's your pickup? By the time, he's just the only man I had a relationship with in government. Everybody knows. And I said, oh, but the pickup is parking. He said, man, I want to use your pickup. I said, but send Valley. Let Valley pick up the pickup because Valley is in town. Valley will drop the pickup over to you. He said, yeah, but the man said with me here. I said, okay, not a problem. So Valley took the pickup. 2-3 days later on, Valley called me. He said, oh, your pickup, your pickup spoiled. I said, what is spoiled my pickup, Valley? I said, that pickup doesn't have any problem. My pickup was parked in the yard. I said, you went and took the pickup. I said, since I came to the US, I packed that pickup. I didn't even allow anybody to use that pickup. How you will call me, tell me say something happened to my pickup? He said, boss, man, that water entered the engine. So I decided to do like a little investigation. I said, okay, what you do, you pack the pickup, take the pickup to Prestige Motor. They took the pickup to Prestige Motor. After a week, Valley gave me a call. He said, boss, man, I will man Koti sent me to Sierra Leone. From there, about one new Molo boy. He gave me the Molo boy, but he said, I'm not tell you. So this was my words to Valley. I said, Valley, I don't know what you and Koji on. That's Valley right in front of my house when he was working for me. I said, Valley, I don't know what you and Koji on, but this is my advice to you. I'm only trying to help you so that at least the assistance you gave me, because had it not been you, I would not have been a survivor today. The life I can give you is the life outside of any other thing than giving you a life where you will work and make your own money. Whatsoever thing you will with Koji, I just advising you, do not join anything or allowing anybody to memorise you. Hey, boss man, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. We had that conversation that was done with him. Valley went back to the bush. 1 month, Valley called me. Oh, he needed a skill after he was getting few diamonds. I said, all right, Valley. I sent Valley to town. I said, when you get to town, call me. I said, I will send you to a friend who got Yams Diamonds on Randall Street. That's one of my colleagues. We all had our offices just opposite each other. They call him Alpha Mara. I said, go to Alpha Mara. I call Alpha already. I said, Alpha should give you one skill and a loop. That was when Valley went to town. Valley went, he got the skill and the loop. After setting time, Valley just stopped communicating with me. When I called Valley, Valley came pick up the phone. And I never had no other communication with anybody to the new place he was. The first thing is that I called Valley, Valley didn't pick. I decided to call Koji. Koji didn't pick my call. I decided to do an investigation. Somebody called me, they said, but you don't know, say Valley working already to MCC or whatever. Valley working with Koji. So I said, wow. Valley is supposed to report the diamonds to me. I already bought the washing planes in Guinea that I'm supposed to send, that I'm in Sierra Leone that I'm supposed to bring for Valley to start operation. Valley has been 6 months. Valley is not talking to me. He's not calling me. Only the year that Valley is working with Koji. I placed a call again to Koji. But before that time, I was calling Koji back and back, telling him that Koji, my pickup is a prestige model. I went as far as even sending Koji's Josh Ada's number. I said, Koji, speak to Mr. Haddad to see how best Mr. Haddad can fix my pickup. Koji said, oh, I'll call him, man. I'll call him, man. I'll call him, man. And so I left from a month, Koji, man, said, that all, I have people and the men immediate to damage it. But one day you will know. So I'll be like, no, what? Is it because that's the only thing that's existing now that when CDCCA, they can have memories of me that, oh, this is Sheik's property, so they want to destroy it? I started having different thoughts. So, only for me to call Valley, Valley can pick my call after he left the mine. He abandoned the whole mines, abandoned everything I'm telling you. I played Valley complaint to the members of the UBA, United Brothers Association, the same organization. The people intervened. When they intervened, they called Valley. They said, but Valley, how can you behave like that? Somebody try to give you a life after you've been a former rebel. This man said you helping, and he decided to help you. Why will you leave the man properties in the bush and you come, you're working with city corporation? The man said when he call you, you can't pick. The people did an investigation. They said, oh, Valley collected my share of the diamonds from the people who got the mines, from the bush owner and everything, because we got percentage that will always outline. So right away, I call Koji back. When I call Koji, Koji will not pick up my call. Right there, I sent Koji a voice message. You getting me? On August the 2nd last year. And if you got anybody, I mean, let me send you the voice message. I mean, if I want to send you the voice message, I want you to play that voice message for me on August 2nd.
I think Good Day has it. Good Day, do you have it? Can you play it?
I can hear you, Fagon.
Message.
But I hope everything is okay. Hey, great. All right. You know, for me, it takes me time to do what I have to do and say what I have to say. I've come this time around to lay Valley Tele complaint to you. But for my investigations, for my assessments, for my intelligence, for whatsoever thing, I know he works for you right now. And you got to know him through me. Even though you heard about him before, by that time you were maybe very young. I know him more than you. Valley trying to play me. He's not even trying to play me, he played me. For me, I'm a businessman. I'm talking from the business perspective. I'm not speaking for any other different thing, but from the business perspective. Where we put our money is where we depend on for survival. I've been through shit in Liberia. That was done. I'm back here. I still try to invest my little 1 or 2 cents somewhere where at least I can be able to sustain myself and my family. Because I don't want anybody responsible for whatsoever thing I have done or whatsoever thing I have, mismanaged or whatsoever. I don't care about it. Bro, Valley, first thing, damaged my pickup. I let it go. The next thing I gave Valley money, gave him a machine to work for me. Valley collected diamonds and stuff. Up to now, Valley haven't given me a cent of the diamonds he got from Liberia. He left my machine in the bush. I spent money to move the machine. I spent money to operate the mines. I spent money to keep the mines running. Valley did not give me a dare. I don't know where my machines are or where my machine is. He sent me pictures. He sent me everything. 6 months now, I've been trying to communicate.
So I want us to go into
listen. So Dr. Richardson, the reason why we have to play that, because trust me, I mean, with this kind of on revelations, trust me, it's alarming. It is alarming and it's aligning. And it's corroborating also with some investigation that have been carrying on. Now, let me say something on this platform. And I will say this to Mr. Weah or Koji. When I appear on a platform, the good things Koji did, I said it. Koji life is not better than the life of those that have been lost. My life is not better than the life of those that have been lost and will still be, because that's the government that we all looking at. Look, there's a parable my late father used to say in Madingo. With all of these things happening, my late father used to say, Dembaya Bosowati Barase. And my late mom used to say that in Loma also. Family Bubule. This is the time I think we got to come out to speak more. This is alarming. When I appeared on the Costa show, I said things. I said the government wrote a lot of things against me to get me out of here.
Mr. Sako, I'm going to have to, because of the timing that we have on this show, I want the panelists to come in to ask you some questions. I would like to invite you back on another day where you can explain, the other story to us. It's very interesting. But we want to give our panelists the opportunity to ask you questions. Okay, I'm going to, Councilor Verdier, I'm going to start with you. If you like to ask Mr. Sheikh Sako questions before we let him go, a question before we let him go. Okay, you don't have. Thank you. Honorable Fagon, what question do you have for Mr. Sheikh Sako? We can't hear you, man.
Well, I can't
hear you.
A couple of questions. I don't know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you clearly, Mr. Fagon.
So you are the owner of the blue pickup?
Definitely not a direct owner, but I was supervising the pickup. The pickup is the owner of the Russians. It's in the Russian company's name, Maxton.
Okay.
But I'm literally the owner. I'm the owner of it, yeah. Because I brought the company.
Let's not go to the pickup side, the inner side. Tell us a little bit about Valley. Because the reason why I want you to tell us, Valley is the Deputy MCC Director for Operations. But since the murder of Gloria Musu Scott's daughter, he has not been seen. He did not report to work. And that news was broken here by Jerome Verdier. Straight. They could have called him. Koji had a press conference the next day. Koji could have had him seated next to him. Valley is gone. Who is Valley Tele? We understand. What do you know about Valley Tele? Tell us a little more about him. His wartime story, what you know about him so far.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Fagon. I got to know Valley actually during the Unimo War 1993 in Dofa. There was a time where my late mom sent my little brother and I to go and do farming in the a town called Duogomen. Because he said, oh, you guys will not just be in Vujima and don't learn about farming. But that time the war was going, the Nimo eviction had started already in Zozo. So while we were in Duogomen, Nimo managed to have engulfed us into the war in Duogomen. So my mom then took the other family and went back to Guinea in 93. We stayed in the jungle for a very long time. We were running out of food. But then Unimbo had established a base in Johnstown under the command shade of Jahannama Platoon. So we started hearing the news from the jungle. They said, oh, they are moving surveillance over there. Because if we stay in the bush, when the rebel meet you here, the Unimbo, they will kill you. So that was how I said, well, that me being the Mandingo, you know, and I can speak it, let me move there with my little brother. That was how we moved. We came to Johnstown, the house register. We were living there. Almost all the surveillance were under the command of the Unimo soldiers. We were living there with them. So there was a time they started planning to come to Banga, the Banga mission attack. So they started recruiting young men from everywhere. So my mom then was
Mr. Sako, yeah. Mr. Sako, I'm sorry. I would love to bring you back to continue the show discussing, you know, some of the important issues that you know about Liberia. Two questions.
Let me just summarize it. Let me just summarize, Mr. Sako.
No, two questions that I have for you right now, and I think it will highlight Mr. Falcon's question because Councillor Jerome is our guest here today. I really want to respect him and ask him some questions. You, in essence, are telling us the blue pickup is in your name and is your pickup. Was your pickup involved in the killing of Matthew Innes? That's a yes or no question.
I don't have any idea. But what I'm hearing right now, and the fight that my pickup was asked for at that particular time is concerning. And the fight that since they use my pickup, they damage my pickup. And they refuse to fix it. So it's also concerning. So everything being said, what is concerning?
Okay. So you do have some concerns about the use of your pickup.
Definitely, I do have a concern.
Okay.
Can I ask this one question?
And then we actually have to get back to Mr.
Yeah,
Freddy
because we have to go back. I understand that. But Valley Teller, Madam Moderator, has been linked to 2 murders now.
Correct.
By the same Councillor Jerome Verdier. The man who know Valley Teller the most, who brought him to town, who did everything, should be able to tell us whether Valley Teller is capable of committing such, or give us a character of this individual. Is he as ruthless as we know? Is he capable of doing this? What do we know of Valley Teller? The only man that can tell us about Valley Teller and his capability and what he's capable of doing and how he kept him and everything is the witness right here. Okay, so I agree with you. We have to bring him back. But that's why I asked, Valley Teller, what do you know? You worked with the national security before. You are not just an ordinary businessman. You're also a security guy. You know this guy. You know him very well. That's why I asked, is he capable? Tell us if he's...
Good question, Mr. Babon. Let's stick to the question.
You can go.
Valley is more than capable. I would say this. You know why I would say this? I witnessed Valley when I was honoring him as a civilian. The fact that the only consideration I had of Valley a little bit was that when they came to get us out of Johnstown, it was only Valley that stood up as a battlefront commander and said, you're open the people, will let Mr. Bwaka Sherry take the people to Masanta. Because of that, they did not recruit us to bring us to Banga. But Valley, we witnessed Valley in the World War II, World War III in Liberia. Valley formed the Manos Plus, dust to dust under the command of General Gonda. We were right at Banana Junction. We that live in shoe factory. We saw Valley perform. Valley formed his own group over there. Valley left. Valley was not just an ATU man. Valley was a Malaysian soldier. Valley was then moved over to Sano County. When you hear the people of Sano, they tell you, say, oh, we were not here, but we here. That was the talk he carried in Sano. We were not here, but we here. And people know that in Sano. People who were in Sano County at the time, they know. You understand? So the issue of Valley being capable to do something, Valley is...
We can't hear you, Sheikh. We didn't hear your last few words.
Sheikh, you gone low.
We're not hearing you.
We're not hearing you.
Check. Are you hearing me? Oh, we lost him.
You gotta come back.
Okay, so Minister Fagon, your question was answered. He said that he is very capable.
He's more than capable, is what he said. And that's why I wanted for him to give us a graphic account, because he knows the guy like the back of his palm. And that would have helped Councilor Verdia a little bit so far. But I think there will come a time he'll come back.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want, to make sure that Councilor Verdia is here to tell us, his views. I'm going to now go to you guys. Fagon, do you have two questions for Councilor Verdia until Sakor comes back, Mr. Sakor comes back?
Well, the first question, Council, is that we know now the owner of the pickup. There's no doubt. You were looking for the owner of the pickup. The owner of the pickup is right here. Now, I would have asked him, but then again, I would have asked him how did the pickup wind up?
He's back.
And who the operators of the pickup were. But I don't know who to place the question to now. So just, okay, Shaq. You know that this guy more than capable. You worked with him before. Did you hear about Gloria Scott's operation and the killing of her daughter? And we had a revelation that he was the person that carried out the hit. First and foremost, do you believe he carried out the hit? And have you tried to contact him since? What do you know so far about this Gloria Scott issue and the link to Valley Tele? Can you tell us?
Well, thank you very much, Fagon. Like I said, I've been concentrating on my truck driving here in that much as I followed the news in Liberia. And it was so saddening yesterday to have received the news of another person being killed in a mysterious way. And I first want to use the time to extend my sympathy to the family. I mean, it is just like all the time coming up here discussing the mysterious death of people. This time around, happening to be a young lady. I mean, it's so frustrating. But I think investigators are on the matter and are just listening to Councilor Verdier on doing them some investigative reports. I think they've got enough. The Liberia National Police is there, but trust me, for me, I don't have one trust in them. But I think with the unearthed revelations right now, I mean, we look up to independent investigators to look into the issue. But I think from my own assessment, you can know that indeed it was an assassination attempt. But the fact that Valley was involved, Valley is involved, I think with the evidence Mr. Verdier has on hand, as he explained, would definitely allow him to it if he was the one that did it.
Thank you. Any other person that have question for Mr. Sakor before he leaves?
Mr. Sakor. Mr. Sakor, good to see you.
So Fariga, how you doing, my brother?
This is Yeke.
Hey, Bavier, Believe Namble.
Vabe, sir.
Mekale grandma, young Baji, please, you learn on the do. To get to a bag of
paper. Gaffairs, sir.
Man, give you no man. Why not?
Okay, look. My coach, Fakon will finish with you, man.
Hey, James Good will tell me what you said. I just wait for you to finish so we can go to the council. You get proof to me that everything Councilor Verdier has been saying is now adding up.
My question to you is, did they tell you that your pickup was involved with accident, or they just told you your pickup was damaged and they took it to prostitute model? You told them to take it to prostitute model.
All they told me was that this is value war. Oh, Boshman, you pick up, you get water go inside the turbo charger, water go inside the engine. I said, Valley, that's not possible. That was all they said. They never told me anything about accident, whether they hit somebody hit them, nothing. They never told me anything.
So that means in my mind, what Councilor Verdier is saying that true, they're just trying to do cover up to say the people in the garage, they pick up now on the scene or something. They're trying to destroy evidence. Well, the evidence cannot be destroyed. That question.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mr. Fagon.
Okay, Yeke, you just asked him a question, did you?
Yes, I'm done with my question. I'm done with my question. You know.
Okay, you want a response check before we go to him, then we go to counsel?
No, he answered the question already.
He answered.
All right. Alusi, you have any questions for Shek?
Not really, but I could just throw in one quick question there. Where is the pickup now? Who has the pickup?
The pickup is still a prestige model. The pickup is still a prestige model as we speak. You guys can send anybody there. The pickup is still a prestige model up to now. They have not fixed it. It's still there.
But then on what grounds are you guys using the pickup? How are they getting access to the pickup to be using it to commit these crimes?
The pickups have been
over
there. Mr. Fagdi got the pickup have been a prestige model for approximately going to 3 years now. What we are explaining here is something that happened since 2020. I think when I just came to America, 2021. I think 2020 or 2020. When I came to America, since then the pickup have been a prestige model. You can go there and ask the record; they will tell you when they took the pickup there exactly.
So now that the pickup has been linked to a crime, counsel, do you know whether the pickup is still at prestige model? Since in fact it is it is alleged now that it is a crime scene evidence.
Precisely, that's my information, and my source at the time, because I had to ask, where is the pickup? You know, and my source at the time said it was in the garage. He has just identified prestige motor, but I know it has been decommissioned. You know, and knowing that it is evidence in the commission of a murder or a crime, I think they try to hide the evidence or do away with the evidence, decommission it. Nobody will see it anymore. Anybody looking for it, they won't find it. You know, and that's why I announced to you guys that, look, I don't know who owns this vehicle, but this is the vehicle this guy has been using, that he has used. So the missing link in the puzzle is who owns the vehicle. I'd like to know. It would be important for investigators to know who owns the vehicle so that they can establish the link. How come the vehicle ended up with him? And initially, my impression was they have seized the vehicle from somebody, because it's common. People steal vehicles and use it to commit crime and get rid of the vehicle so that the crime is not traced to them. That was my impression initially. That's why I was anxious to know. I thought that by finding out who owns the vehicle, it will lead us to additional evidence.
So thank you for that. I mean, now, when I heard you say that the other day, I got like, this pickup looked like Shek pickup. So we got Shek on the set now. The world is watching him. I'm sure you're going to be trying to get to him behind the scene, but is there anything you want to know from Shek as to one or two other things? Because you're a legal luminary, you're a legal mind. You probably can ask one or two questions that will help inform the public on this case, now that the pickup is not only linked now to Ines, but you know that the main suspect in the Gloria Musu saga was the guy using the pickup also. Is there something you would like to ask that will help Sakor educate the Liberian people on something?
Well, for the moment, that's all I wanted to know. And since we started the show, I've received several messages identifying Shek, even before Shek came on. And it's been confirmed that he owns the vehicle. And that is it. And so I will have to discuss with him further in completing our report. A lot of good things he has said here already, but upon reviewing them, there may be other questions that I would like to engage Shek with. At the moment, I don't have anything as yet. And when Dr. Richardson asked, I said no, but it came to my mind that I should ask if he is the owner, definitely. But my phone I was muted, so my voice didn't come through, because I got several messages identifying Shek as the owner of the vehicle. So for now, it's okay with me. But I
before
really
I come
thought,
to you, Al Hussein, let's ask Dr. Francine, because she's kind of, you can see she's leaving it with me. It's a woman's thing. You just see people going around killing people's husbands, killing people's children. So don't worry, Dr. Francine. From there, I will make fun for you. But I can see you holding your hands. For all we scary now, we inside already. Dr. Francine, you got any questions?
No, thank you, Mr. Fagon. It's not about being fearful. It's about processing the information. I'm very much processing what I'm hearing and don't want to be reactive or impulsive. This is a lot of information that was unfolded on Spoon right now. We're talking about, we have established the owner of the truck. We have established that this truck has some link to Russia. We have established that this man who is apparently being alleged to have murder the daughter of Gloria Scott, also worked for Sheikh Sakor and for many years doing diamond business in Liberia and taking our resources with that could have been used to build Liberia. So there's a lot of things that's going on with me right now. That is just shocking, very shocking to me. So that's why I'm actually, because I know you know a lot about this story, so I'm sort of relinquishing my moderating duties to you a little bit here for you to carry on. But it's very shocking. I'm sure Liberians are texting me right now. They want to hear more. They're very shocked. They're actually complaining that I should give you more time. That's why they're texting me. So go ahead, on.
But Council, before we come to you, Sheikh is with us. Al Hussein, before you forget your thought, what did you want to contribute? You are muted.
I was muted. Yeah, I just unmuted myself. I see you've been making rounds on the internet with the Costa and other interviews. Is there any point that you fear for your life because you're driving your truck? I think people can trace you. I don't know how easy it is, but I don't think it will be difficult to find you. Do you have any concern about your life that those people, because these are damning allegations that you are making against powerful people in Liberia. Is there any point that you fear for your life that these guys will come after you? And then one last follow-up question, if you won't forget. I heard that the MCC, someone from the Moreira City Corporation, or some individual from that corporation was involved in dismantling that truck. Are you aware of it? That the destroying of the truck was done by someone from the Moreira City Corporation.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Fariga. And I want to just address your first concern. That's about my safety. Look, Fariga, I will tell you one thing, right? Now I'm a Loma Madingo. When I come to the point to fight, I either succeed or I die. And especially when I know that I'm fighting a genuine fight. The issue when I appear on the constant show that I said there's nothing about the story. I said the fights. And then you raise the point that I'm going against powerful people. Yes, they're powerful, but they're not powerful more than God. Look, I'll tell you one thing. I got no fear. I got no fear. Look, was not more dangerous than Charles Taylor. Taylor had all the generals. He had all the men. Where is Taylor today? Now I will say this on this platform. Where I have stand, where I have come. I'm not afraid of anybody. Because you know why? I'm not fighting anybody wrongly. I have the responsibility to defend myself where people try to align me to the situation that I know nothing about. I have the responsibility to speak out when I've been oppressed and marginalized by the weird administration. I have the right to speak out where we are indebted to me and my partners, and the money is overdue. Because of that, I should be afraid. Let me tell you something, Fadiga. In that country, your press releases, your protests, and other things, Mr. Weah, they have now moved Mr. Weah. If Mr. Weah think that people will sit there, there will not be a man that will come and rise up to him, he will be joking. Or he gonna think, say, he gonna come and militarize the country and you have Jefferson Koji reincarnate into Chucky and he will not have anybody to face him. You must be joking. Look, I drive my truck, I move around, I got no fear. I got my home, I have $1 million home just opposite his home in Duazo. I'm not afraid. I got my kids in Liberia, I'm not afraid. Look, Liberians are going through a lot. Liberians have gone through a lot. I think we have reached the zenith of our tolerance, and somebody must stand up to Weah. I will tell you this for real. Somebody must stand up to Weah. The only inch that is between Weah and Mr. Taylor, the way they left right now, is for Weah to ever think that he's going to come after me or use his men to come after me. Trust me, if it will cost me to relinquish whatsoever status in the United States and go and channel my justice into another means, I will do it. But I'm not afraid, my brother. Let me just tell you that. I got no fear.
Okay, we're going to bring in the son, but let me ask you this. Take 2 minutes. Tell us a little bit. Everybody is here, and council, I beg your indulgence. It's about 5:19. We're supposed to leave 6 o'clock. Council, we got about 30 minutes. Once we have Sheikh here, let's get the best of him. Council, you're my guest. Even tomorrow again, you'll be my guest. Sheikh,
yes,
this
sir.
money issue came up with the Russians.
Pagon.
Yes, this money issue came up. You see her, she's going to stay after 6. It's getting juicy. This money issue came up with the Russians. The Russians gave their money for the 2017 elections. That I heard many, many times while I was there. I was the lead campaigner here in the States. Take a few minutes. Link us with your best, because everybody know Mr. Weah was your best friend. Everybody know you connected Weah to the Russians. Everybody know you made sure that the money came in for the election. You brought in the helicopter. You brought in the Russian guys, the IT. It's not a secret anymore, because if I'm here, it's not a secret. Take 2 or 3 minutes. Tell us a little bit about that whole saga.
Well, thank you, Mr. Fargo. In as much as I did not come on the platform to discuss
just a little bit
the
about
issues of the Russians again, but I just want to make a little clarity on the Dr. Francis comment regarding the diamonds issues. Dr. Francis, we are involved in the legitimate diamond mining in Liberia. We paid our taxes. The fact that, in fact, that value had not even worked for that long, value were doing prospecting. We had a prospecting license from the Ministry of Mines where you can do a little work. And later on, Value even paid for the licenses. And I can send you copies of the licenses we paid for that gave us the legitimate right to mine. So just to clear that your doubt, it is nothing illegal. We paid our taxes. We were licensed diamond dealers in Liberia. The evidence are there. You can check even the Diamond Association in Liberia. They will tell you we got an office even in the diamond building. We're paying our taxes and we're good on that. So it was nothing illegitimate, just to clear your doubt on that.
Mr. Sakra, thank you for clarifying. My concern was actually how rich our country is. When I saw the diamonds that you show us, and I thought about, oh my goodness, we could use the diamond for medications, for schooling, for businesses in our country. That's kind of what my concern was. I'm sure and I trust that you have the proper license as a Liberian to carry on the correct diamond business in Liberia. I'm just amazed as how much resources we have and how far and how developed our country can be. So thank you for your clarification.
No, you're welcome, Dr. Francis. So back to Mr. Fagon. Mr. Fagon, like the 2017 election, like I said, I didn't come to speak about that issue because that issue has been channeled already through the requisite authority.
You are at liberty to decline. I just wanted to.
And very soon we'll be on the international stage playing that match. But just to elaborate on it a little bit, as you know, Mr. Weah has been the one who has used his influence by any other means to have people coming around for an assistance. Like I explained on the Costa show, Mr. Weah asked for an assistant from me, and I was able to provide the assistant. But Mr. Weah did not live up to his, his promises as it was discussed in the various meetings with the Russians. And regarding the issue of the 2017 election, the fraud and what have you, we will find another time to discuss that because we got people reviewing them already. We provided the evidence. And the issue of Mr. Weah and Mr. Bamba bringing in Terry Burkinabes during the 2017 elections, where if he did not win elections, they were going to overthrow. These are issues we got the evidence. I mean, this will just be new, other stuff we'll be building on your platform. But like I said, we got a lot more. We're not afraid of Mr. Weah. If Mr. Weah ever thought that he would come and use the presidency to replenish his lost resources or opportunities and turn around and kill the Liberian people and marginalize everybody, somebody must stand up to him. I'm a mundane. I'm never afraid of anybody, especially when I know I'm fighting a genuine fight. So the issue of the Russian money, I think, is up at the international stage, and that very soon we will start playing that song at the international level. So I will not want to delve into that much.
Yeah, but you were the mediator between the Russians and Mr. Weah, correct?
100%. 100%.
Okay. And the monies were delivered.
100%.
Okay. Now, having said that, I'll just ask you the last question, and you can be our guest because this bogus indictment for murder is up. Somebody's dad is in jail. A person whose dad never even went to the Gloria Mususcat home. He just sent his boys there to work. And now he's charged with murder. He's sitting in jail. His son will come up and explain, and the counsel. So I know you're not that busy. Can you hang out with us a little bit? Can you hang out with us a little bit, Shaq?
Regarding the situation.
My man, you lonely Jeremy, yeah, man. Hang out with us small.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm right here. Right now on my 10 hours break, so I can stay hang up with you guys here.
But then it finished. You in the necklace with us, sit down here with us small.
Yeah, let me just speak a little bit on the misplace of justice in Liberia.
Okay,
you can only have a perfect justice system if you have the three components of the criminal justice system that works perfectly. But the first thing is, if the first component of the criminal justice system we have to deal with arrest, investigate, and charge, if that is not properly handled, the justice system litigation will be zero. You understand? So the fact that you're going to go and arrest people that are not even aligned, that are not even connected to the crime, at the end of the day, what kind of justice you going to provide those people that you're going to send over there? Because if you look at their charge, what kind of evidence that you have? So this is just to tell you that the misplace of justice in Liberia is just, I mean, you don't need a FBI agent to look up some of the reports that the government can get and tell you it's just like a play live rating and you call sixth graders to go and perform it. You understand? You look at those things, even the private security, the ordinary private security, you tell him, say, who can read and write? You look at him and say, listen to me, read a report, you tell him, but this is bogus. You understand me? But there's one thing I can tell you. Liberia is at the juncture of chaos. It is too much. It is getting too much. The fact that these things happen, Mr. Weah goes in the church, he make mockery of them. The fact that these things happen, Mr. Weah sits and shows no remorse as a president. Let's forget the fight that even if those things were done any other way, whether they were killed or whether they died mysteriously or whether they die any other way, show remorse. That people follow them over there, they murder them over there. Let me just put it in simple English. Ain't getting me? That people mind part them over there. You understanding me? That they look up to them for life.
Okay, but this is your best friend.
Man.
This is your best friend you're talking about. This is a guy you saw like this, hand in hand, the one that people can call Shete and behind. That your best friend. So we know what you're talking about, and we feel how you feel because this is somebody that you ate with, drank with, did everything with. There's no telling. But I'd like for you to stay, and I'd like to announce that we're running up to 7 p.m. tonight. And the people have said if Dr. Francine leave tonight, if Dr. Francine leave, there'll be problem. You see the way Dr. Francine dressed, you can know she was supposed to go somewhere. But the people have protested. They have said she will stay until 7 p.m. And so we're going to try to bring in the son of the contractor who is listed. And like Council Verdia said, I want him to listen to the son so as to provide his expert legal advice. Good day. Do you have his son on the line?
Yes, he's prepared.
Okay.
He's ready.
Ask him to tell us exactly what he knows about the indictment.
Godson called my dad and said, oh, we got some work to be done. So my dad went there with his team. When they went there, they started the work, they did what they had to do, and they left for the first time. The second time, my dad didn't go there. My aunt's son, my aunt's son, And the other boy who my dad is training, there were 3 of them that went there to do the work for the second time. So when they were doing the work, they got stuck somewhere because of material shortage. So there was no material to complete the work. So the Godson boy were always with them. My little brother said, Godson always open the door for them or the gate or wherever to have access to the building. And Godson will stay with you throughout while you work. And Godson again, after you're done working, Godson will let you out of the compound. So while working, he got close to Godson. They used to have fun lecturing while they're working. So the second time they went there, they would never completed the work. They left because of some light feature or something. There. So they left. And Godson placed a call to Musu Scout and said, because of this issue, short of material, the contractor will not be able to complete the work. They will come on another time. So they left. So when they got the material, Godson again placed a call to my dad. Now, the material, and within that time, it was the very time that they were waiting. It was the very time that 2 times the very armed robber, whoever, attempted Musu Scout's house. Within that time that they were waiting. So the contractor wasn't around. If you follow Musu Scout or press release, he said there was no contractor when the armed robber, whoever, attempted or tried. Once you told the police and everybody, there were no contractors. It's in a press release. So after they got the material, they called my dad. And my dad and my little brother, they all are not people who follow news or Liberian politics. So they never even knew that Anwar went on Mususka twice behind them. They never knew it. So my dad quickly called my little brother and said, the people said they got the material, y'all go there and do the work because I will not be able to go there. Again, he didn't go. So my little brother and his team went there. And this is the team that he went with. There were only 2 back then. There's supposed to be 3, but he didn't go with the other ball. Joshua, when you look at the chart sheet, Joshua Francis, he didn't go with Joshua Francis, but he said he went with Ezekiel Tama. There were 2 that went there the last time, which was on Wednesday. When they went there, they started the work. And when they went there, my little brother, he placed a call to Godson colleague.
You just said that they'll bring these people in. But let me ask you, the police said, we're looking for any information we can get. You sat on this platform, you provided information on a particular individual, his name, where he worked, who he works for, and by Friday, the individual disappeared from his workplace, have not been seen, heard from. Now we're saying, what do you make of that before I go back to the panel?
Well, this is the very thing they are trying to avoid. They are trying to avoid bringing in the real perpetrator. So the best thing they tell him, leave the country. And Liberia has a history of doing those kinds of things. Okay, I want to refer to Yinswa.
That's an echo.
Someone device is on. Can you mute yourself?
Good, thank you.
Okay, the auditor who was murdered, on the day he was murdered, the current auditor, the current director of that section absconded from the country. He left, and when everything quieted down, he has just returned and he was appointed head. During the $15 billion or the $1 billion lost and all of that kind of thing, the handler of the articles at the port, I think he's Vani, but he's a Salif. He's the junior brother of the Minister of Internal Affairs. He was running.
I just wanted to say something, and then if they don't have questions for me, that's fine.
No, hold on there.
Okay, so when the news broke about the missing money, he too was taken out of the country, and he stayed there forever. And then he I don't know whether he has his back, but I got information that he's back. I haven't been able to confirm it. So that thing. So now they are taking the main suspect out, the prime suspect out of the country. We will see whether they will call Jefferson Koji in, and in the absence of that man, they will have to hold Jefferson Koji. But so as not to prejudice their investigation, we're just going to remain cool. And that's the reason why they took Jefferson Koji has taken this man out of the country. We may not see him anymore. They could kill him to destroy evidence, or he could just abscond and go anywhere he wants to go. But like I said, we have one more day for the police. After the 48 hours, then we begin to ask questions why they are still holding these guys. But for now, it's not an indictment. They're just detaining them for questioning. I'm holding all of that in good faith.
Let me go to my panel.
Yeah, my question is to the contractor's son. So are you okay with the explanation of Council of Radio that your dad is a person of interest, that he will be detained for at least 2 days because this is part of the police work? Are you okay with that explanation?
The thing is, I'm living in a country with that has to do with laws and order. So I'm not. Since yesterday, my older brother called me, and even right now, there are a lot of people calling me that I'm saying too much. I don't know what are they telling me. Am I saying too much when it comes to my dad, who is 100% innocent? That I can give myself off for his business? That I know him well? Am I saying too much because of that? I've got in contact with my lawyer, and I'm going to do everything. I just want for the Liberian people to know I'm going to do everything my will to get my dad and my little brothers out of it, because I know 100% they are innocent. So I'm not accusing anybody. I'm not saying the Liberian government they know about what happened or they did it. I'm not accusing anybody. I just want the law to take its course, that my dad is innocent. If they are carrying on their investigation, let them carry on the investigation right. All those that are involved, let them bring them in. Let them not restrict it to a certain group of people. Because my little brother explained that the Gossom president was there. Who's this Gossom? I don't know. Why is he not around? And I'm very sure that they said they have security or private security out in the Glorious house. Why is this person or those securities are not around for investigation? Why only them? So I'm just worried. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm not saying this